On the paddle of the 24-year-old Christian Alshon, who's been a fierce competitor in men's singles this season. Ben Johns locked in early, gets to the kitchen, hits home a couple of volleys to the feet of Alshon.
Those are some pretty big backswings from Ben Johns. He's usually one that finesses and creates, but those were that just sent a statement.
Just a bit deep there for Ben Johns. Christian Alshon pocketed his first career gold this season. He's in Cape Coral in his home state back in March, then capitalized on that in Texas, winning back-to-back golds in singles. And how about a clean winner? Ben Johns, not an easy guy to pass.
Yeah, absolutely. Christian Alshon does a really good job at moving to the left side of the court to get that forehand and go inside in. I love when he hits that shot. Beautiful.
Point.
Miss from Ben Johns counts for another point for Christian Alshon. Christian Alshon also part of the Texas Ranchers Major League Pickleball team that will be the host of next weekend's great event. Surely they're locked in for this one.
Point.
That ball was deep. I think Ben's going to challenge it. Yes, he will.
Referee timeout. We have a challenge of the out.
What does everyone in the crowd think? What do you think?
Here's the verdict.
After review, the out call stands. Loss of challenge. No free challenges remaining. One free challenge remaining. We'll resume play at 3-0.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that.
Time in.
Jae-Hoon Lim, our
3-0.
lead referee for this one. 3-0. The damage so far for Alshon. Wow,
Point.
Blistering pass, inside out this time. Working Ben Johns with that forehand.
Yeah, I'd love to see Ben go to the forehand first on the
4-0.
right side in the corner to create something, go behind him on his backhand.
Goes for it again and surrenders
Side
the ball
out.
back to Ben Johns. We saw Christian Alshon tested earlier in the draw in the round of 32 with a chirpy match against Julian Arnold. It went to 3.
0-4.
Almost lost it. Julian was up 9-2 in game 3. Missed
Point.
return for Alshon. And Alshon did not engage very much with the chirp battle that
1-4.
Julian Arnold was instigating. He said he was working on his mental toughness, and Lee Waters was encouraging him to stay with it himself. Battle at the kitchen, and Alshon covers his backside well.
Yeah, nice reach there. He just had the paddle in front, moving to the ball. All he had to do is make good contact, have a good angle on that face, and makes it look so
4-1.
easy.
Point.
Same pass. Took a little off it, hits it to the midcourt, inside out. We've seen those angles a lot. See a lot from Annalie Waters in her
5-1.
singles matches. Very effective. Heavy angle. Alshon's there. Again, goes down.
Side out.
Alshon still down at the backboards. We hope he's okay. Yep, he is popped up.
Got to be careful hitting to the backhand at the kitchen of Ben Johns because he does such a great job at disguising where he's going to hit that ball off of the bounce.
1-5.
Got to be careful.
Ooh,
Side out.
narrow miss from Ben Johns. Christian Alshon loading back up to serve.
I'd like to see Ben Johns on his toes a little bit more. He's just half a step behind on these shots right now. He's on the reach. He's not hitting clean shots. But we all know Ben Johns starts a little slower than most.
That first sequence, I was like, okay, he's awake, alive and well.
5-1.
Ben Johns has 3 matches today, of course.
Side out.
Alshon also with 3 matches. Both players have to be
1-5.
measured with their energetic outputs, as Annalie Waters discussed at the desk. Beautiful sequence for Alshon. The way he gets up to the kitchen, efficient, doesn't change his upper body a whole lot. Stays very steady with his movements.
5-1.
Quick and long. A lot of reach. Good luck passing him.
Side out.
Finally a backhand. Ben Johns was able to get to that corner. And you see there, Christian Alshon makes an error. How many times can you get around to that forehand side?
1-5. Point.
But I like it. Ben Johns will continue to go there. It'll open up the right side. And when he feels comfortable, he's going to start utilizing that shot to the forehand side.
2-5.
Cat and mouse. Ben Johns' favorite game to play, and that's why. Make it 3 points for the world number 4.
3-5.
Timeout taken by Christian Alshon, taking a page out of Annalie Waters' book. Not let his opponent stumbles. This guy committed himself to the sport. So desperately wanted to be the best in the game. His determination holding true on the courts.
Five, 3. Side out. 3-5.
Oh, Ernie alerts Christian Alshon. Hits a feathery inside-out ball out of the air.
I love Christian Alshon's athleticism. You could see
5-3.
he reads it so ahead of time, and he's able to make it look so easy.
Side out.
I like the timeout from Christian Alshon, but
3-5.
a couple side outs and still scoreless since then.
What a ball
Point.
by Ben Johns. I mean, he just makes it look easy. Such a heads-up play, full court awareness of where his opponent is from the transition area.
It seems that Ben Johns understands that Alshon's looking for the forehand. So every time he holds that ball, at the very last second, he'll pull it right behind him to
4-5.
his backhand side. Alshon is not going to get that forehand.
Point.
Ben Johns ties it back up at 5.
Five, 5.
Wow.
Point.
Christian Alshon on the ropes now. Ben Johns taking control in a 1-point lead.
Yeah, when Ben comes up to that net, he'll go cross court almost every time.
Okay.
If you go down the line, you know, you could cut that off with a tremendous volley. So he's not going to give that to you. He's not going to give you what you want, right? So high IQ from Ben Johns.
Equipment timeout.
John stuck at 5. New shoes, who this? Alshon punches it to the corner.
5-6.
Alshon attacks the body of Ben Johns at the kitchen, earns a miss.
I actually love that shot to that right armpit of Ben Johns because he usually sits on the backhand side, and you don't typically see people do that in singles, but it's such a good
6-6.
shot from Alshon. set himself up perfectly.
Nice. Curls in again. About 75% on that pass. Why is that effective, taking a little pace off?
Taking pace off makes you hit more topspin. It makes the ball dip on the other side. Hitting flat gets the ball to the other side quicker, but...
Referee timeout. We have a challenge of the in-rolling. The in-rolling puts us at
Ben Johns challenging the in-rolling.
Proceed with video review.
We'll take a closer look at it when we have it. And Lee Waters coaching Christian Alshon for now, but she'll be back on.
One free challenge remaining. We'll resume play at 7-6.
Keep tabs on that technical warning for Ben Johns. If he
Time in.
uses
7-6.
another free challenge and is, or not free challenge, but uses another challenge and is incorrect, he'll be charged a point.
Point.
Or the other side will be awarded a point, rather. So Christian Alshon up 8-6. Ben Johns out of challenges and with a technical warning on his side.
8-6.
Things have shifted since that equipment timeout.
It's the shoes.
Point.
Clean winner. Fade away beauty to the opposite sideline. Make it 9-6, Christian Alshon.
We were talking about that dip and that topspin. That's what Alshon's doing so well right now.
9-6.
Here's a score update. Catherine Parento takes out Caitlin Christian in the quarterfinals. Love this run for Parento on the opposite end of the draw from Waters, her former women's doubles partner, who she won over 30 women's doubles titles with. So semi-final rounds beginning to settle in for the ladies. Waters
6-9.
already advancing. Same with Parento. Parento will meet either Fahey or Jansen in the semis.
Foot fault. Point.
And an incorrect
The ball
foot fault
bounced.
called
Replay.
by the referee, and Christian Alshon declaring immediately that it bounced. A little frustrated by that.
6-9.
That's good.
Point.
Ben Johns rips a casual winner from the middle of the court.
I feel like Alshon's just a little too early in exposing where he's going to go, where he thinks the ball's going to go on the passing shot. Again, Ben Johns, when he sets up early, he's able to keep an eye on you, go right
7-9.
behind you.
Generous call from Ben. That was close on the return. Oh my. It's still alive. Boys at the kitchen, cat and mouse. Whoa! Christian Alshon finds the winner down the line. Epic battle, best rally of the match.
I was wondering when Ben was going to go down the line, and there he did it. Alshon was all over it. Beautiful. When the point gets to the kitchen like that and the cat and mouse is at the kitchen in singles, that is high, intense singles action.
9-7.
Over on grandstand, by the way, Hunter Johnson up a game on Kwong Duong, who will be out on center for mixed doubles later today. Posted on that score line. Nice. And Johns waltzes to the line. Finds the open winner.
7-9. Side out.
Interesting shot from Ben Johns, trying to get it on the rise. Little timing error there.
9-7.
Oh, Alshon scrambles back into the mix. Finds the winner. Side out, looking to go up game points. Another look. Look at his movement.
I love when he hits the ball on the reach like that. He makes it look so easy. That wingspan is really awesome. He's using it to his advantage.
9-7.
Still good. Alshon
Point.
finds an easy winner
Game point.
for game point. 10-7.
I like that, though. Ben Johns was all over it. Just mishit that. He knew he was out of the point. Didn't really try to find some defense there.
10-7.
And Alshon goes for broke. Aggressive touch from the opposite corner. Ben Johns saves the game point.
Seven, 10. Side out.
Little
Game
sneaky
point.
shot there from Christian Alshon. Everyone thought he was going to go cross court. Pulls it down the line.
Alshon loads up at game point number 2.
10-7.
Wide is the call.
Timeout.
Thought I saw it wide
Got it.
live as well. Christian Alshon will
Referee
utilize
timeout. We
his
have a
free
of
challenge
the out
available.
call. The out call puts us at side out 7-10. We'll now
So-
proceed with video review.
If Ben, I have a
Have to review the out call stand. Loss of challenge. No free challenges remaining. No free challenges remaining. We'll resume play at side out 7-10.
But yeah, Ben has to be spot on with his calls from here.
Time
He
in.
is, I would say, one of the more generous line
7-10.
callers.
I'd
Still
agree.
human, but nice.
Point.
Johns sweeps a backhand down the line, gives Christian Alshon a little taste of his own medicine. 2 game points saved, 2 points, and this is tied at 10.
8-10.
Whoa,
Point.
perfectly constructed. Ben Johns.
No more challenges left.
Great lateral mobility, working Christian Alshon on the perimeter. And Alshon has been informed he used his timeout and his challenge, so he has no timeouts available.
It took 4 backhand shots from Alshon to open up the forehand side for Ben Johns. 4. That's how well he constructed that point. Sometimes you just always hit to the open court, but that's being too predictable. Ben Johns makes you really think, where is he going?
Nine, 10.
Christian Alshon avoids Johns being able to tie it. Game point number 3.
Ten, 9.
Ben Johns not taking any chances, having every shot coming his way. Side out, saves his 3rd game point against.
That's just great pressure because Ben didn't really hit an amazing shot on any of those volleys. He just kept the ball in play, putting the pressure on his opponent who has that game point. I dare you to hit a perfect shot. I dare you to. And finally, Christian Alshon misses.
9-10.
And Johns perseveres in the hands battle. Hits a winner, 10 apiece.
Alshon again goes to that armpit of Ben Johns on the forehand side. This time Ben stays in the volley rally and is able to manipulate some crazy backhand shot off balance.
From 10-7 down, Ben Johns perseveres, battles back. Inside out, and it catches the line. Game point, swings the other way. Christian Alshon has been working on his mental resiliency. That will be tested here against the best of the best in Ben Johns.
You're absolutely right, Mish. Absolutely. Who else, right? Against what other opponent do you have to be mentally strong against? Ben is one of the ones on top there.
Side out.
Christian Alshon hangs on, fights off, game point against. Chance to tie it. Lee Waters in a predicament here.
I love it, Georgia. Little sister of Ben Johns is sitting right next to the enemy.
10-11.
Georgia Johns, a great pickleball player as well. She's now Ben Johns' manager, keeping him timely and in tip-top shape.
Side out. Game point.
Game point number 2 for Ben Johns.
$11-10.
What a play. Christian Alshon guards the line and hits a volley out of reach for Ben to recover. 2 game points saved. Another chance to tie it at 11.
Ben really has to push here. He's been a step behind on these shots to make the quality of the ball better, of these passing shots. See if he could find something here.
Big forehand for the winner. 11 apiece. Haven't seen these two in a final since San Clemente of 2023. Also met in the final in Denver. That's how competitive
11-11.
this Grand Slam event is. This is just the quarterfinals. Semis taking place tomorrow. Alshon loading up. Tie game, 11 apiece. ATP from Alshon to go up game point once again. Make it game point number 4.
That is so huge. Finally, he's able to read that ball, track it down all the way before it bounces on the second bounce. So good from Alshon.
$12-11.
Ben Johns makes it difficult to close things out, doesn't he? Side out. Chance for Ben Johns to tie it up. Ben has now fought off 4 game points. Christian Alshon fought off 2 to bring back his 4th game point. Now Ben Johns with a chance to tie it up.
11-12.
Christian Alshon with a no-look pass again. Sides out Johns. Make it game point number 5.
This time, Alshon definitely taking his time, thinking through the point he wants
12-11.
to finish things off here.
Well, both players out of timeouts and out of challenges, we remind you. So you can challenge, but
Side
comes
out.
with a risk. And there is a heavy serve from Alshon, trying to visualize the way he wanted that point to
11-12.
end. A big serve involved. That time was deep. 5th game point
Let me serve.
saved. Let's serve will be replayed.
11-12. Let me serve.
And let's serve again.
Ben's looking really loose right now with his arm on that serve. He's just really going for it here.
$11-12.
Ooh. Unlucky for Alshon. Tie game. 12-all. Ben Johns perseveres once again. A phrase you won't hear me say just one time.
Now Ben toweling off. So intense right now. The quality is
12-12.
so high here on Championship Court.
What a play! Sweeping backhand down the line.
Game point.
Johns takes back game point number 3.
We have not seen that passing shot from Ben Johns in this game, and what a time to pull the trigger. My goodness.
Both players walking to the towels. Humidity is thick in Atlanta this afternoon. Overcast skies, not too sunny, but definitely hot and humid.
We're just standing here and we're sweating.
Here's the game point count. Johns with 3, Alshon with 5.
13-12.
Heavy ball,
13-12.
and Ben Johns takes game 1, 14-12. What a start to the quarterfinal rounds, and we're just beginning, Michelle.
Yeah, he's playing so smooth right now. Both players need to dig deep here.
Game 2 coming up next. Keep it locked in on Atlanta. We are just beginning.
Side out. Zero, zero. Point.
If you're Christian Alshon.
You come back battling, you know, you have Lee Waters on the sideline. What could I have done differently? What should I look for? Should I go bigger on certain
1-0.
shots?
Side out.
Yeah, you know, Christian Alshon definitely wants it. Now, how can he do it, right?
Yep.
And he knows
0-1.
he can. He had game point 5 times off his paddle. So just staying consistent and confident out there.
Well, the glass
Point.
half full perspective on that is, hey, I almost took game 1 5 times, or the other side of that is,
I had it.
I had it.
1-1.
How do you not let that mentally get to you? That's the question for Alshon. The tape. Ooh, another one. Oh my, oh my!
Point.
Double bounce, but what an attempt from Christian Alshon. Counts as a point for Ben Johns. Epic play. Look at this angle. All the way across. Look at the wrist work from Ben Johns.
2-1. Point.
Yeah, when Alshon comes up to the net, he's in the middle of the court, but I would sit on the side where he's been going to. So Ben Johns likes to go cross court a lot. So I would just sit on that backhand side and bait to go to the side that you want him to go on.
3-1.
Right? So kind of a little chess game when you're getting up to the kitchen line.
Point.
Beautiful. Right on the line for Ben
Timeout
Johns.
receiver, 4-1.
And that will cause a timeout the other way. Christian Alshon with a lot to think about. But now, got Kate Fahey and Leah Jansen squaring off next after this match. What a play for Alshon.
Yeah, I love that he's not trying to attack that volley, but make Ben move on that volley with that roll. Some good feel there going cross court.
One, 4.
Call was wide. Alshon tried to sell it with a fist bump. Ben Johns on his line calls.
Correction. Side out.
Over on grandstand, by the way, it's Paris Todd squaring off with Liz Trueluck. Remember, it was Todd that made it
4-1.
to the final of last year's Grand Slam event here in Atlanta to challenge Annalie Waters.
Point.
Cat mouse action won by Ben Johns. Another point.
I love that Ben went to the forehand side, but not straight. He went a little higher, which caught Christian Alshon off balance. You don't usually see a higher shot coming over the net there on that forehand. So good. It set himself up so well. It's about where you place your shots.
Five, 1. Point.
Again, finding another point off of the forehand side. We've seen Ben go to the backhand, go to the backhand, go to the backhand every time both players are at the non-volley zone line. And this time Ben's mixing it up, so it's making Alshon really think out there.
Six, 1.
Wow.
Side out.
Alshon had to get really crafty at the end of that point just to get the side out. Seems like there's never an angle out of reach for Ben Johns with the way he reads the paddle in the game. Always one step ahead of the play.
That was one of our longer points with more
1-6.
shots. And I love seeing the consistency from the players and the accuracy they have on their shots.
Point.
Alshon back on the board. Needs to find life here in game 2 to extend this to a third deciding game. It's been a
2-6.
marathon match already through 2 games. We're just about 45-ish to an hour minutes in, depending on when exactly we started. But this has felt like a full match already.
Alshon on that last point really ripped his serve and really set himself up
3-6.
for that winner. Let's see if he continues that trend.
Ooh.
Side out.
This time Ben John handles.
Yeah, I thought about what shot Alshon wanted to hit. What a play by Ben Johns. Ball back to his side. Looking for a date with Hunter Johnson in the semis. And Hunter would love another
6-3.
battle against Ben Johns. He matched him in the final in Mesa and hurt his ankle.
Point.
In the middle of that match, didn't feel like he gave it his best shot. So here would be a full sample size, healthy Hunter Johnson against healthy Ben Johns in the semis, if Ben can, of course, get there.
The sport's so physical, injuries occur all the time, so it's nice to see when both players are healthy. It makes for a good battle.
7-3.
Effortless third from Ben Johns. Curls it, rolls it right to the
Free challenge timeout
backhand
receiver.
corner of the kitchen
45 seconds.
of Christian Alshon as Ben Johns corners better. Ring, ring. And Christian both getting a little laugh out of the situation. Maybe some levity would be the remedy for Christian Alshon. Running out of time.
3-8. Point.
Heavy drive from Alshon. Goes to the forehand side of Johns.
4-8. Side out.
That's the play I'm talking about, going big on the serve, then the third. He just has to figure out what he needs to do on the fifth. It's like he wants to go big on that too, but it's not going to work against someone who could stick volleys really well and move to the ball like Ben Johns. I also want to see Christian Alshon smile every once in a while. He's just so focused and so intense. I want to see him have a little fun out there.
I think that's part of his mental regime of the moment. Little flickaroo down the line. Off the tape, Ben Johns gets caught. Side out.
Four, 8. Side out.
Also, Alshon going big on those thirds on the passing shots. Ben Johns has shut it down 4 side outs in a row. Let's see if Alshon could drop one of these, get into the kitchen game, and read Ben Johns' angle on the backhand side. I'd love to see it.
8-4. Side out.
Right now, both players are a little stubborn, wanting to pass.
4-8. Point.
It'll be served from Alshon. Always part of the strategy.
Feels so good when you're able to just serve big and automatically win a point. It's the best feeling on the court.
Another epic battle. Christian Alshon approaches, keeps things to the middle, finds the outer angle.
See, that time he was able to drop it in to set himself up instead of trying to pass again. That's so key into gaining points one at a time.
Christian Alshon has scored 5 of the last 7 points.
Point.
Through the middle, Ben lets it fly, thinks that one's going deep. It is not. Christian Alshon marches back, make it 6 of the last 8 points.
His stubbornness paid off with that big third
7-8.
shot drive.
Wow, big approach. And comes up to the net. Ben Johns facilities that we love so much. Christian Alshon tied it up. Scored 7 of the last 9 points ahead of that miss. And now Ben Johns recovers the ball. Needs 3 to take the match. Would love to get out the door in 2 over a player like Alshon. Oh. That won't help the temper of Ben Johns.
Yeah, when you're usually able to create, when you want to create and you know how and it's not working, it's definitely frustrating.
Side out.
Alshon again going big on the third shot.
8-8.
He's taking high risk and high rewards right now.
Side out.
Same with Ben. Looking for the big plays right now.
Eight. Side out.
Yeah, it usually happens trying to go big is because you're fatigued. You're late in the game and you're just looking for easy points at this portion of the game. And both players seem to be right
8-8.
there because they've been really grinding out these points with some epic plays.
Side out.
Ben had it there. He had it. I like that he was trying to slow things down, come up to the net, try to neutralize the point. But Alshon just too good there.
Trading side outs, points at a premium in this one.
This is a battle. I love it.
8-8. Stop play. Service warning. Release
Service warning given to Christian Alshon, and perhaps that was part of the gripe from Ben Johns, the timeout he was calling earlier.
He has been going really big on the serves, so I could see how that arm's coming up. The elbow gets tucked in. The paddle face gets just above the wrist. A good warning call from our head ref.
8-8.
Whoa! Free for all at the kitchen. Ben Johns corners the opening. Side out again. It's been about 10 minutes without a point.
I love that Ben finally went down the line. You know he has that shot. You just never know when he's going to pull it.
8-8.
And what a time.
Just missed.
Point. No, you cannot. His is legal right now.
So Christian Alshon's like, well, why can't I challenge his serve? And a referee crew saying, no, you cannot. His is legal. Christian Alshon getting feisty.
Nine-8. Side out.
Nice return there from Alshon. Good follow-up, putting the pressure on Johns.
8-9. Side out.
I don't know if you noticed, but both players are doing such a good job at getting to the net off of the return. And that's why it's so hard to pass the opponents. So hard to pass because they do such a good job at moving forward.
9-8.
Wow.
Point.
Ben Johns wields another impossible angle to catch. Match point for Ben Johns.
Ben Johns finally getting up to the net, slowing things down. So he has the time to get there, and also lucky with that little net cord there to set himself up, but great control from the master.
10-8.
Ben Johns sweeps Christian Alshon. 11-8 in game 2. Epic battle, epic quarterfinal rounds from a match that could have been a final.
Yeah, every single point was just grueling. They had to really find it. Every single shot had to be so high quality. I love seeing this matchup, and Ben Johns just edges it out with slowing things down.
We are going to step aside for a moment. Ben